Hello there, you are live on NutriCare Daily with me, Manuel. Today on this show, we are looking at nutrition in pregnancy, what a pregnant woman is supposed to do or supposed to take once the fetus start developing. Many a times, most pregnant women tend not to take in healthy meals, and as a result, their babies or the infant, when being born, suffer a lot of dietary problems. So today on this show, based on a popular request, we are looking at nutrition in pregnancy. Pregnancy comes in many phases, or it comes in three phases. We have three trimesters, and the first trimester has to do with the first 8 weeks to the 3 months of pregnancy. And today on this show, we are looking at what a pregnant woman is supposed to take during this first trimester. As the fetus is growing, or as the pregnancy starts and it's growing, the mother begins to develop, and the fetus in her also begin to develop. The mother's uterus enlarge and the breast also begin to grow. So it becomes very necessary for the mother to take into consideration the diet very seriously in order to ensure that the baby that is developing in her womb does not lack certain nutrients or certain dietary requirements. In pregnancy, because there is a baby developing in the womb of the mother, or there is a baby or a fetus developing, there is some kind of nutrients that are required so far as pregnancy is concerned. Such of these nutrients include folate, calcium, protein, what have you. Now we are looking at the three main classes of food that every pregnant woman is supposed to take. There are three main classes of food so far as nutrition is concerned. We have the bodybuilding, we have the protective, and we have the energy-giving food. Under the bodybuilding food, we have carbohydrates and fat and oil. And some of the food sources of carbohydrate are cassava, yam, maize, rice, cereals. And also under fat and oil, we have granules, we have coconut oil, soya bean oil, what have you. And under protective foods, we have fruits and vegetables. And under bodybuilding, we have protein. What are some of the food sources of protein? Under food sources of protein, we have meat, we have eggs, we have yolks, we have milk, we have cheese, etc. Let's take notes of this. We have two main classes of protein. We have first class protein and second class protein. Someone will ask, what is first class protein? First class protein has to do with the foods that are very rich in protein, and examples are the meats, the game, the poultry, the eggs, the seafoods, etc. And second class protein has to do with the food sources that have protein in lesser quantity, and some of these include legumes, includes soya bean, etc. So having talked about the three main classes of food that a pregnant woman is supposed to take so far as baby nutrition is concerned, let's look at some of the calories that are required so far as these food sources are required in pregnancy. One, before a woman is pregnant, normally the protein requirement or the energy requirement of a non-pregnant woman is 2,200 calories. But as soon as a woman becomes pregnant, the energy requirement or the calorie of energy needed by the woman is 2,500 calories. Now let's look at protein. The protein requirement for a non-pregnant woman is 50 milligrams, and that of a pregnant woman is 60 milligrams. Calcium is 800 milligrams for non-pregnant women, and for pregnant women we have 1,200 milligrams. And in non-pregnant women, the iron requirement is 50 milligrams, and in pregnant women is 30 milligrams. Also, vitamin C requirement of non-pregnant women is 60 milligrams, and in pregnant women is 70 milligrams. Last but not the least, the vitamin D requirement of a non-pregnant woman is 55 milligrams, and that of a pregnant woman is 10 milligrams. When a pregnant woman takes into consideration what she consumes or is mindful of the diet, it helps the fetus developing in her womb to be healthy. There are a lot of notions surrounding women not eating. Some think that when they eat much, the baby in their womb will become big, and in time of delivery, they won't be able to deliver safe and sound. So they tend to starve themselves, which is not true. It's a myth that is not very true. Why should a pregnant woman take her diet very seriously? You need to take your diet very seriously because now you are not feeding for one, but you are feeding for two. The fetus in your womb is developing and it needs food nutrients in order to survive. It is very understandable that in the early stages of pregnancy, the pregnant woman might not feel like eating. But hey, in this case, it's not about you feeling like eating. You don't eat because you feel like eating, but you eat in order to feed the fetus in your womb. So in as much as you don't feel like eating, so far as your baby health is concerned, you need to take in something, not just taking in anything, but you take in healthy meals, you take in healthy foods that will aid the development of the fetus. Having said that, let's look at some of the problems associated with the early pregnancy. We have nausea, we have diarrhea, we have anemia, what have you. How can we correct anemia in the early stages of pregnancy? We can correct anemia by taking in foods that are rich in iron, and also not forgetting your folic acid intake. As a matter of fact, women in particular at times or most times, even in a day, are supposed to take 1 tablet of folic acid. On this show, I don't preach about you taking medicine, but I preach about you using your diet to correct dietary diseases. So on this show, how can you do, or in this state, what can you do in terms of diet in order to correct your anemia deficiency? All that you can do is taking in foods that are rich in anemia, that are rich in iron. An example of these foods are green leafy vegetables, and we have our kontomire, kohunsusa, and all the green leafy vegetables that are very rich in iron. This half our time will allow us on this show. So I come your way same time next week. It's NutriCare Daily with me, Manuel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our page. Thanks for watching.